India and Bangladesh have close relationship. It's known as the Shonali Adhyay, or the golden age of this relationship, and high-level engagements have become part and parcel of this relationship. With me is the visiting Bangladeshi foreign minister here in Delhi. So welcome to WION. We last met in Dhaka, and this time it's at Delhi. And my first question to you is an obvious one. How do you see this relationship between India and Bangladesh? The Shonali Adhyay is being talked about, and of course, high-level engagement is something that has become part of this relationship.
You have already said by yourself that we have a wonderful relationship. And Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi has termed it Shonali Adhyay, golden chapter. And really it's so. It's a golden chapter because we have resolved most of our critical issues through dialogue and discussion without a single bullet. We have resolved our border demarcation problem through dialogue and discussion. We have resolved our maritime boundary, the situation. We have also resolved the water sharing. So these are some critical issues. We resolve those issues through dialogue and discussion. Still, we have some outstanding issues. And the good thing is that we can talk about our issues very freely and without any, what should I say, reservation. So this is a unique relationship. Now, and this should be studied by students of diplomacy, how we have developed. During the last year, we observed our 50th anniversary of independence and also the 100th anniversary of Father of the Nation. And luckily, last year, the UN has declared that Bangladesh has met all the criteria of graduation from LDC to developing country. In addition, we also observed last year 50 years of diplomatic relationship with India. And you cannot believe the Prime Minister of India, the President of India, we were very lucky, they visited Bangladesh and we had a wonderful time. Not only that, we observed, you see, the Maitri Divas, Friendship Day, all across in 18 missions abroad, both together, Bangladesh and India together. It's because in 1971, it is India who supported us, who's helped us, who trained us, for our independence movement. So we are very grateful, and we have a rock-solid relationship. It's historical. It's also, we have gone through same challenges. We have by and large same history. We have, it's a people-to-people relationship. When you look at me, you see, I cannot differentiate much whether you are Bangladeshi or Indian. So that's the relationship we have. So, and the relation we look forward for next 50 years, better relationship. My feeling is the next 50 years, we should have more solid relationship. The way it was even before in the early 90s or in the 100, the mobility was free. All sorts of mobility was free. And, and the people of the subcontinent used to do many things together. So I thought in future we'll have borderless, mobility between Bangladesh. What I mean by we should move around without any passport, you see, in this whole, this region. That is, I'm looking forward to next 50 years.
High-level visits, are we expecting the Prime Minister also to visit India? She sent mangoes to the Prime Minister and the President.
Yes, we did. We have a lovely mango. Bangladesh, we produce plenty of mango. And one special kind of mango, you see, the Prime Minister of India, I understand, likes it. So now we have sent it yesterday, and we did it last year also. So we have sent it to Prime Minister and other, other leaders of India, basically to develop a better taste of Bangladesh.
So mango diplomacy there, but the focus is also on many things like connectivity. That is something both sides are working on, whether it's inland waterways, whether it's railway connectivity. If you can give us details about the connectivity aspect.
You see, Bangladesh is a hub of connectivity. We believe, our Prime Minister, Sheikh Hasina believes, connectivity is productivity. In this global world, in this interconnected world, where we all are interdependent by and large, Bangladesh, you see, looks forward to more connectivity across, particularly regional connectivity. Because if we have good connectivity, our trade, our, the development flourishes. So particularly with our neighbor, our policy is, we want to have friendship with everyone, friendship with all, malice towards none. And particularly we have special focus to have very solid relationship with our neighbors. So in order to have solid relations with neighbors, we want to have people-to-people connectivity. We have opened up our road system. We have a wonderful road communication between India and Bangladesh. We have air communication. We have started our water communication. We want to make it better. And also we have started our railway communication. We used to have those communication long time ago, 70 years ago, but those are disrupted after between Pakistan, the war in 1965. And so we have resuming, all those connectivity. And this is good for both countries. Good because if we have good connectivity, look, around 1.4 million Bangladeshis visited India as a tourist. They're the largest tourist of India. You see, India is a big country, and the tourist from Bangladesh is the largest because we have good connectivity. And when tourist comes, you make money. Then we have a large number of Bangladeshi. They also visit India for medical treatment. So you get a lot of help from. Not only that, in Calcutta or in other places, Mumbai, you see, people come for shopping from Bangladesh. Large number of people come shopping. That's helped by India. In addition, there is a large number of Indians who are working in Bangladesh. Few 100,000 Indians are working in the professional jobs in Bangladesh. They're contributing in our development. At the same time, they're sending money back to. I think Bangladesh is the second largest remittance, fourth largest remittance Indians are receiving from Bangladesh. So it's helping both the countries, and we like to have more connectivity. In fact, we need to open up more of the rivers, and we have to work together because we have around 54 rivers that comes from India to Bangladesh. And right now when I'm talking, I have a devastating flood in my own constituency in Sylhet. And it came from Assam and Meghalaya. So I'm looking if we can develop a better system of management and regulation of the waters, both upper and riparian, we can avoid a lot of damages and surprises. So we would like to share, our expertise, our data, so that we can have early warning about these sort of disasters. And this, once, even before Pakistan was created, they used to have those sort of flood, but not as devastating as it is today, because there is some gap today, and therefore it becomes really miserable.
Sir, you sit down with the Indian External Affairs Minister on Sunday evening to discuss about many things. It's Joint Commission meeting. Last time it happened in Dhaka. So what will be the key issues you're going to talk about, and of course talk about future as well, other things like perhaps a high-level visit from Bangladesh?
Of course. You see, I had a discussion. We have been meeting with Dr. Joy Shankar. I met a number of times, both home and as well as abroad. Only recently we met in Guwahati in India, Assam. The issues that we would like to, we do this joint conference, consultation, and the outstanding issues that we have, normally we try to resolve those issues. And prior to this meeting, we have several, the ministerial meeting, several departmental meetings, and the secretary level meetings. And they resolve most of the issues. This time, we shall be raising the issue, one issue long time ago, the water sharing, the water management. Some of the issues are still, outstanding. So we'll discuss about those issues. We'll also talk about, the Rohingya issue is a big issue, India is a good friend of Myanmar and also a great friend of Bangladesh. So we would like to work on that and how we can help resolve this, this outstanding problem. Then we will also discuss about our connectivity. We have recently started our railway. Railway has started moving it, but we also have some port. We have allowed our major port, Chittagong and Mongla, to be used by the Indian, these ships and other. So there is some lock. We'll talk about that, how to resolve it. We have some border issues. Border issues in the sense that this good news is now the border killing has reduced dramatically. So this is good news. But the other one, that in the border area, we follow international regulations, rules, and we want to see that we do follow those international regulations in the border. We also like to talk about trade. In the trade, we are very lucky. I must report that our trade is flourishing. Indian exports to Bangladesh is almost $1 billion, and $10 billion. This is the largest trade that India has with us in the whole of this area, South Asia. And ours is has also increased around $1.3 billion. So this is good news. But there is more potential, more potential. One area where we need to have some improvement, that India put dumping in the jute products. And I think this should have been withdrawn. So we will talk about it so that they withdraw this additional taxation on it. Then we also talk about investment. You see, Bangladesh is a land of opportunity. We have a wonderful investment package. So naturally we'll invite the Indian company, the Indian companies that are doing business, and they are winners. They are making good money. So we'll invite others to take the advantage, because the country is doing well. Since the country is doing well, anything you produce in Bangladesh is a market. We have around 35 million people who have the purchasing capacity, very strong purchasing capacity. And around 90 million people is also, we've had 65 million people in Bangladesh. And so we would be talking about, in addition, we'll talk some international issues, regional issues. We want what our Prime Minister wants. Our Prime Minister believes that to have sustainable economic development, you cannot do it alone. The whole region should prosper together.
So a lot of things on the table.
So a lot of things on our table.
So you mentioned about the Rohingya issue. That has been a concerning issue, not only for your country, but for the region. You've talked about how there can be extremism that can be on rise because of the Rohingya crisis. What do you expect from India, firstly? Secondly, how do you think that there will be a resolution? Because for months, for years now, we haven't seen any movement.
Fifth year. But you see, if there is a commitment, I always believe, I'm always optimist. I believe that if there is a commitment, if there is a will, where there is a will, there is a way. So if Bangladesh, India, Myanmar work together, we can resolve this issue. We can have a sustainable solution to it. The Rohingya issue was created by Myanmar, and solution also lies with Myanmar. So if we work together, and with the support of India and other friends, I'm sure we can resolve this issue for the betterment of all. Reason is, if this problem is not resolved, the problem is that there could be pockets of radicalism and terrorist. If there is radical and terrorist, it may create uncertainty in the whole region. The other day when I was in Assam and Meghalaya, the Chief Minister of Assam was saying they have done great improvement in development over the last few years. One reason is there is no terrorism. One reason is Sheikh Hasina's declaration that zero tolerance to terrorism, and Bangladesh cannot be harbor for any sorts of terrorist activity. That helped the economic development of Assam and Meghalaya. So if the Rohingya problem is not resolved, it may create again some uncertainty. So we all have to work together for our own benefit, for the regional benefit, of course for the humanity.
So you also mentioned about regional and global issues. One of the biggest global issues today is the Russian invasion of Ukraine. how has that impacted your country in terms of the prices of commodities, food, wheat, rice? And what are your plans basically to deal with this
You see,
price rise?
we are highly interconnected with the rest of the world. If there's uncertainty in the developed countries, our trade suffers, investment suffers. The Ukraine issue is a very important issue because you see, the energy cost has gone up. And we are energy dependent country. We bring energy from abroad. So if the energy cost goes up, and it has gone up pretty high, 5 times. So if it goes up, then the major problem is our transportation cost also goes up. In addition, we buy some of the items from that part of the world, and those are now, you cannot get those. So naturally, you have to procure it from other place, and that is more expensive. So it will affect. It is affecting all the countries of the world, and it is affecting Bangladesh also. Till today, our impact of that war is, but you see, we had the COVID, and already many countries are suffering from COVID. And immediately after the COVID, before we could recuperate, that new problem came up, and it is costing the whole world, their living, the welfare of the living.
Will you buy Russian crude oil?
Pardon?
Will you buy Russian crude oil, cheap Russian crude oil?
We buy crude oil, we buy oil from others. Now, we got some offer to buy, but we have not, because there is some sanction from Russian oil, so we have not brought it. But I understand that India is buying it, so they are good friends, so we may discuss it, Friends always talk about issues of their, but as such, it is not a big issue in the agenda.
But have you spoken about it with the Indian side? I mean, since Indian side is getting
No, we want to know. If you have better ideas, please let me know.
Okay, sir. Sir, another thing is the mega infrastructure program. That's the Padma Bridge that's going to be inaugurated later this month, which is being talked about. How does it help your country in terms of the GDP and in terms of growth, and also the support, the Indian support you've got when it comes to the development of the bridge?
You see, this is a historic moment for us. On 25th of June, we'll inaugurate the historic Padma Bridge. This is not a very long bridge, it's 6.15 kilometers, longest in Bangladesh. But the most important thing is, it is on the most ferocious river of the planet Earth. The current is very, very deadly. And therefore, putting these piles or structures is difficult. And I'm told that, in normal place, you need to have piling around 30 meters. And here, we have done normal. All of them is more than 122 meters. 40-story building underneath the water, because there is rock is not available. Anyway, and another story to it. We have been planning to build this, the bridge for a long time. And some development partners and institutions agreed to provide us financing. The World Bank, the Asian Development Bank, also JICA, they agreed to provide partial payment for this. And we have never done any project of that size before. And being an LDC, forget it. But our Prime Minister had the courage. So she decided to go for the project. At the last minute, initially World Bank was not interested. Then they, on their own, volunteered to join in the program. They joined the program, but at the very last minute, suddenly they withdraw from on a fictitious charge, as a make-up charge. They said that they are apprehending there could be some conspiracy of, conspiracy of corruption. No money was, exchanged. No document was signed. But at the time that they're feeling there could be some conspiracy of corruption. Eventually, there was a court case. The Canadian court found these are stories. These are fairy tales. But World Bank withdrew. Naturally, the other Asian and the JICA, they also withdrew. Then Prime Minister decided that we will build with our own money. We built with our money. We did not take a penny from anyone else. But of course, you know, there are some companies, foreign companies, they are involved in the construction as contractors. We engage them as a contractor. But this is built by WION. Now, how India can help? This bridge, as per our varieties of estimates, there are many pundits, and the pundits gave that the GDP is likely to increase 1.5% to 3%. It's a big margin. And it's a huge amount. It will definitely help improving the GDP because it is connecting 19 districts of Bangladesh. Around 30 million people will be benefited. 30 million people of the southern belt will be benefited. So, and the distance of traveling will reduce enormously. You see, the improvement will be material. Now, and that area is also, from there you go to India too. So it is likely to help Indian mobility also. Our connectivity will improve, and hopefully many Indians will come to visit Bangladesh and use this beautiful bridge.
Basically, I was asking about how India basically supported in terms of development of this bridge. How do you see that as?
See, India is a development partner, is a good friend. So they, you know, we are maintaining our stability, and in the process, India is helpful. So, you know, as such, it didn't get any money for this particular project, neither any, what should I say, materials, because we use our own material for this bridge, our own cement, all our own iron, everything of our own.
In fact, the Bangladeshi Foreign Ministry issued a statement yesterday on the Friday evening, clarifying about Chinese role in the entire building of the Padma Bridge. Why was the need of this clarification?
No, because it was said by some people, for one reason or another, I don't know what is the motive behind, that it is a part of Belt and Road Initiative. Nothing to do with it. We have been thinking of building this bridge for a long time, you see, and it's nothing. So some people are making this story, so we thought we should put the facts straight. That's why we said, no, nothing to do with that. We built it with our own money. Of course, we had contractors from China, contractors from European, a number of European countries. We have contractors from all across. You know, many people have many different types of expertise, and they provided those, you know, and we paid for them.
We're talking about China, and of course, China in the region has a different role. There is the debt trap diplomacy, which is being talked about. Sri Lanka, for an example, Pakistan, it's believed, will go in that direction. How do you see Chinese role, the debt trap diplomacy?
No, it depends on the country specific. You see, China is an emerging country, developed country. They have plenty of cash reserve, and they want to help other neighboring countries for their own benefit, and they have been supportive. Many other countries, our development partners, are shy of resources, and they spend more of their resources in the defense expenditure, so they cannot, you know, help you with, you know, any investment as such, more so in the infrastructure investment. They're very shy. So from time to time, some countries get, you know, money from China, and we did in some of our projects. But we are a very prudent country. We decide everything that meets our own needs. We don't, you offer me and I take it, no. We see whether this is, we do the cost-benefit analysis and find whether this is beneficial to us. So in that process, that what happened in Pakistan or in Singapore, that's not going to happen, because they have their own problems also. But in our case, the total amount of our foreign borrowing itself is very low. It's around 16%. Out of that, Chinese, you know, amount of borrowing is almost minuscule, because our largest borrowing is from the international institutions. You see this World Bank, Asian Development, IMF, IDA, mostly IDA fund. They're the major. And the Chinese are very little. Among the individual country, it's Japan that provided more financing. So this is out of question. This is out of question. And Bangladesh is I must say, we're doing well. We have around our export, that let's say in Sri Lanka, they have only 21 million people. Their export around $11–12 billion. Our export is around $47 billion. Our remittance, even in a bad time during the COVID, around 25 billion. They don't have that thing. Their major income was from, one of the major incomes was from the tourism. That was closed down. But they also import everything from abroad. We don't. We are a self-sufficient country in food, in fish, in vegetables and all. So this the relationship, I mean the people who make this sort of comparison is out of question. This is where I think it is not proper.
But in many capitals in South Asia, this is an obvious question. Who do you support, India or China? What's the case for Bangladesh?
We have a policy that, policy is friendship to all, malice towards none. That's our cardinal principle. And we have also a policy that we always be more supportive and cooperative with our neighbors. And now we make a good balance between China and India. Balance in the sense that India is our historical friend, and we have a strong relationship with India. But China is our development partner and been supporting us in many of our projects.
So my last question to you, Bangladesh is known as an Asian tiger. Your economic growth is very good. It's something that everyone is talking about, whether it's Delhi or whether it's New York. How are you supporting other countries in the region? Case, for example, Sri Lanka, it's facing a lot of problems. They've reached out to India, India has reached out to Sri Lanka. Bangladesh, there are reports, but if you can give us details about Dhaka support to Colombo.
You see, we have been supportive of Sri Lanka. When they have difficulty, financial difficulty, we provided funding of around $250 million as support them. Recently, we also providing some food. We are providing gift of 25,000 tons of potato. We also provided a few 100,000 worth of medicine during this bad time. And we are ready to help them as much as we can.
Well, thank you so much, sir. It was a pleasure to have you here in Delhi speaking to WION. In the past, you have spoken to WION in Dhaka, and perhaps in the future, we'll have more such engagements. Well, thank you so much, sir. It's a pleasure having you here.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.